But it's because he knows that the real shit about him is coming out. Ask him about Ray Edwards and their parties. Ask him about the red dress that he wore during a Diddy party. Like, we're not gonna do that. I know too much. And the reason I'm talking now is because if something happens to me, y'all know why. This is me purging.
Y'all, Amy Luciani just dropped a bomb. She posted a video of Dwight Howard getting his cheek slapped by his alleged boyfriend, and let me tell you, it is graphic. Fans have been trying to tell her for a while now that Dwight might not be entirely straight, saying there's definitely some extra zest there. But Amy wasn't having it. She clapped back, called everybody haters, and stood by her man. Well, not anymore. Now that she's caught Dwight red-handed, she's definitely not as confident about him as she once was. Word on the street is that not only has Dwight been cheating with men, but he's also allegedly been making explicit content on Instagram, if you know what I mean. Amy made it very clear that she's not someone you want to mess with. She came through with receipts, video clips, text messages, and all, and dragged him in front of everybody. And let me tell you, she did not stutter once. This is a hot little mess, so let's break it all the way down. Amy Luciani just found out the hard way that sometimes you really need to listen because people be seeing red flags that you don't. The rumors first started a few days ago when news came out that she and Dwight had broken up. Allegedly, she walked in and caught him in bed with a man, and not just any man, someone in a whole wig. They tried to keep things private, but the timeline tells it all. They apparently broke up just a few weeks after Valentine's Day. Amy also made it very clear that she was done with him. She deleted most of their photos together, including the post where she first announced their engagement back in December. I'm talking about that post where she wrote, "I was enjoying you so much out of the public eye, but here we are. Thank you for bringing me back to the word. Anything I say or fuss about, first thing you say is, did you pray about it?" Then I realized I hadn't been praying much lately. At all. I'm just thankful, happy, and ready for everything that's coming our way. I prayed real deep on Thursday, not knowing 2 days later, God would send me a Bible totem tattoo giant with the same heart as me. Thank you. Then fans started sounding the alarm for real, trying to tell her all about Dwight and what he was really up to. But she didn't want to hear any of it. Instead, she went online bragging about how solid their relationship was, even saying that she and Dwight shared the same toothbrush. See, now y'all just be nasty for no reason.
David.
But to be fair, Dwight probably convinced her that he had changed. He even bragged that she didn't care about his past. In one video, he talked about how the past was behind him, and you could hear her in the background agreeing with everything he said, standing by her man. But it turns out the past wasn't really in the past, it was a very present danger, because Dwight ended up cheating on her with an entire man. And honestly, even Stevie Wonder could have seen that coming from a mile away. If there's one thing we know about Mr. Dwight Howard, it's that he's constantly at the center of down-low allegations. And this isn't new, it's been going on for years. Back in 2018, influencer Mason Elijah came forward claiming he had been in some kind of relationship with Dwight. According to Mason, things started off cool but eventually took a turn when Dwight began acting shady. And to make matters worse, Mason alleged that Dwight actually threatened him. Things got messy fast. He even tweeted, "I was afraid to speak, but today my life was threatened after I was asked threatened and manipulated by someone I respected, my ex-boyfriend, NBA player Dwight Howard. I met a Dwight a while back at Weil, and out to be exact, and we made eye contact, and a week later, he was in my DMs. The conversation started escalating to news being sent, escalating to me, blowing his mind, and him calling me every night on Instagram video chat." Mason also posted screenshots of messages he sent to Dwight, asking, "Do your mother, brother, and friends know that you like to be with trans men and men? Or is that just something you've kept to yourself?" But Dwight didn't respond. According to Mason, things took a turn when he discovered that Dwight was cheating on him with a transgender woman who was assigned male at birth. Not only that, but the woman allegedly used to host trans-exclusive parties, and Dwight was reportedly a regular attendee. When Mason confronted Dwight about the situation, he claimed Dwight threatened to physically harm him. Of course, Dwight denied all of these allegations and insisted he had never even met Mason.
About it, and it upset me because I didn't even know who the person was. I'm like, why would somebody who I've never met, never had any contact with, make up a whole story about me? And I saw all the hate, the pure hate from people that I've never met before, just pile up everywhere I went against me. And I think that liberated me because I saw how a lot of people would feel whether they're gay, whether they're straight, whether they have issues. People are afraid to be who they are. They're afraid to just step out and be, like you said, because they're afraid of what other people might say or think about them. And so that situation made me realize, you're not like this, but just be you, be free.
Meaning you're not gay.
I'm not gay, so it's a lot of people who are, and they have to hide. And it's people who have mental issues and they have to hide. It's people who have different problems in life and they have to hide.
And that wasn't the end of the drama. In 2023, Dwight was hit with yet another scandal. This time, it involved a man named Stephen Harper, who filed a lawsuit against him. According to Stephen, the two met on Instagram and agreed to link up for, well, adult activities. But things took a serious turn when Stephen claimed he was forced into something he never consented to. Leaked screenshots revealed the early stages of their conversation. Stephen dropped his phone number in Dwight's DMs, and Dwight replied with a devil emoji, which apparently was all it took to get things started. Stephen followed up with a flirty, sup sexy, and Dwight responded with, none you. From there, the conversation kept flowing. Stephen said he was about to hop in the shower, and they continued chatting, talking casually about their day, their lives, and what they were looking for. Eventually, they made plans to link up whenever they were both in Atlanta. At one point, Dwight asked Stephen for his main Instagram account. Once Stephen sent it, Dwight must have liked what he saw, because he didn't waste any time asking for some private photos. You know the kind. Stephen played along, even asked if Dwight wanted more. From there, the conversation got even more flirty. They started seriously planning their meetup and getting way more personal. Stephen asked, I got you, Poppy. Also, what are you into? Do you like freaky stuff? Dwight replied, yes, I'm into freaky stuff. Now, I want you to know I'm not like gay or anything. I'm just a little nasty sometimes. I don't want to offend you. The plans kept moving forward, and Dwight definitely wasn't holding back. He started requesting even more explicit pics, especially ones with a specific facial theme, if you catch my drift. Eventually, Dwight cut straight to the point and told Stephen to come through. And Stephen didn't hesitate. The moment Dwight sent the address, Stephen was on it. He booked that ride like he had been training for it, ready to pull up like it was go time. According to Stephen, things started off pretty chill when he got there. They kissed, made out a bit, and everything seemed cool. But then, allegedly, Dwight brought up the idea of a threesome. He asked Stephen if he'd be down with either a guy or a girl. Stephen said no. He made it clear he was uncomfortable with that, especially since it was their first time meeting in person. At first, Dwight seemed to respect that, no pressure. But then things allegedly took a weird turn. Dwight stepped away for a moment and came back with someone else.
But it's because he knows that the real shit about him is coming out. Ask him about Ray Edwards and their parties. Ask him about the red dress that he wore during a Diddy party. Like, we're not gonna do that. I know too much, and the reason I'm talking now is because if something happens to me, y'all know why. This is me purging.